The movie starts out with this kind of sneaky detective music that really helps set the vibe. Hey, there's even a wolf guy doing the DreamWorks logo. Man, I really love it when they do that. I'm sure this wolf isn't important to the story at all, and well, hold on, why is the moon inside the moon? He kicks the grappling hook off the edge and doesn't pull the logo up. If that's not character building, then I don't know what is. And then we finally get to the actual film.
But I mean, come on, everybody loves birthdays.
Mr. Snake. Yes, that's his name. Literally, he is a snake. Fantastic naming scheme makes it so simple. This first scene of Wolf and Snake bantering does a really good job at putting the audience in the right mindset for the movie. At first, these two seem like normal people, or animals I guess, having a meal, but once we see the rest of the diner, it clicks. Everyone is afraid of these guys. It begs the question, why?
Don't mind us, just robbing this place.
Oh, that's why. The two proceed to rob the bank and skedaddle. What follows next is a bunch of character exposition in which there's no great way to do this sort of thing. You're literally talking to the screen, which Wolf actually does at the start. There's the tarantula, who's the tech specialist because of her many legs. Actually genius. I wonder what her typing speed is.
And one more thing.
I got a special delivery for... Wolf, don't even, please, don't even!
Then we get Shark and Piranha. What I think is really funny is the police reports that show up for every one of these characters. Snake just has a whole list of him eating and trying to eat various people. It seems like Shark just lives in tourist places and eats everything. Piranha also eats okay, there's a lot of eating going on. The one thing I noticed is that none of them are known associates with each other. That's something I found a bit weird considering everybody knows who these guys are and that they work together.
But these are the cards we've been dealt, so we might as well play them.
Alright, now we're getting to the important stuff. The bad guys believe there is no trying to change the system, so they might as well exploit it the best they can. A completely understandable motivation that seems to be working pretty well for them so far.
What the thorax?
What the thorax? That's good. I'm gonna steal that. Pun intended.
It's... them.
This phrase here talks about a missing diamond. That'll come into play later. Also, this is all we get for Wolf's information. Everyone else got one of those rap sheets implying that they've been arrested, but Wolf doesn't have one. So does that mean he's never been caught? There are more wanted posters for Wolf and Snake, and also 2 more over here, but I can't tell who they are. You'd think it'd be any of the other 3, but honestly, it just looks like Wolf's again. Man, the others are really getting the short end of the stick with these posters. Look, there's a crater that's definitely just there for ambience and isn't important. In this shot, the car doesn't have spotlights on the sides, but when she climbs out, there's one on each window. I can't not talk about this maneuver right here. That is some superhuman level strength. Chief Luggins really should have just competed in the Olympics rather than chase these guys her whole life. Doesn't she know they're the main characters? Like, she's not gonna catch them. The concept of swimming through the air is hilarious and a reoccurring thing in the movie.
Yeah, we may be bad, but we're so good at it.
Don't you just love when the main characters are competent and strong? Like, I understand the appeal of a weak character developing their skills and then being good at stuff, but nobody's got time for that, Just skip to the good stuff, the action scenes, which is exactly what this movie is doing. That's the same license plate that was in the chief's office. I wonder who greenlit that custom license plate. Okay, there's a chill moment in the movie so we can talk about what we just witnessed. These guys are... bad. What? No way. That can't be. It's not like I just read the title of the movie. Okay, sorry. But really, we just witnessed essentially an armed robbery, right, with the teeth and all that, a cyber attack, reckless endangerment, identity fraud, unlawful entry of a police vehicle, use of a biochemical weapon, and assaulting an officer, or 11 of them. And be honest, you didn't care about any of that when you first watched the movie. Why? Because the characters are so fun and cool. The pure charisma radiating from Wolf means that he could push 1,000 innocent guinea pigs off a bridge and I would still root for him. And guess what? Later in the movie, he does exactly that and I still do not care. So the bad guys get home and wow, they have been busy. Look at all this stuff they stole. I am not well versed in historical artifacts, so if any of you notice any references to real life pieces, let me know in the comments. Okay, well, I know what this one is.
I've made a lot of enemies in my time. I mean a lot. But out of all the people in the world, I hate you guys the least.
Snake just hates everything, which adds to his character and comes up in the plot later. In some of these photos, Snake is actually smiling. Crazy, didn't think that was possible. This one looks like Piranha's first birthday, and ladies and gentlemen, we got a phone number. It says Peggy Sue, which after some research refers to stories when a character can travel back in time to change the past. This term is based on another story with someone actually named Peggy Sue, so I'm not entirely sure what this reference is supposed to mean. There's no time travel in this story. Sorry, spoilers. But there is redemption. Maybe going back in time and changing the past is an allusion to the bad guys changing their ways and becoming good. There's also a moment where Snake refuses to give Shark an ice pop and they start fighting, once again iterating that they are criminals and generally selfish people. Or animals, I guess.
The newly elected governor, Diane Foxington.
Governor?
The only animals in this story are the main characters. We never saw any other sentient animals walking around the street. Are these guys special? Who let a fox become governor?
These so-called bad guys are really just second-rate has-beens.
And now it's personal. From this, Wolf gets an idea to steal the golden dolphin from tomorrow's Good Samaritan Awards. Which also implies that Jesus is in this world, because that's where the saying Good Samaritan comes from. Was this version of Jesus an animal or a human? Will these animals go to heaven? Sorry, we're getting off track. Snake has a frowny face in his hat. That's fun.
That job has broken every criminal who's tried it. The Bucharest Bandits, Lucky Jim,
The Crimson Paw.
Actually, the Crimson Paw was never arrested.
The Good Samaritan Award is going to a guinea pig. This is the only reason Snake agrees to the heist. He just wants to eat the guinea pig. Nice callback to 13 minutes ago. Tarantula puts half her legs in when they do the hand in. That's why it's so big. So Wolf lays out the plan with surprising knowledge of the security system of the event. He knows everything, down to who has what access key and where they're going to be. We can just say that Tarantula figured it out or something. Maybe they've been wanting to do something like this for a while and we're slowly building a reserve of information. This is an animated movie, so all of these funny gag moments get a pass. Shark is something else, man.
Interesting piece. Trashy, pointless, and pretentious.
Next, they're gonna make it personal.
Oh, she's onto them. Run. Actually, not really. She has no clue.
Even trash can be recycled into something beautiful.
This is very smart, although it only makes that swan shape once per rotation.
I can't miss a photo op with the governor in a pile of garbage.
Oh, Mr. Poodleton, you're too hard on yourself.
Dang, she's good. Oh my goodness. Also, look at this. He stole the ring off of Diane's finger. I didn't say anything yet because I wanted to see if you noticed when he was kissing her hand. Boom, he got it. Snake walking, just hilarious. Whoa, that's not how that works. And Piranha absolutely violated that guy. Let's move on. Oh, but we are going to stop and talk about how she got that USB drive in there first try. That's how you know they're professionals. Average gamer setup. Wolf glances at the camera every time he does something like this. He sees all and knows all. Here we see him pickpocketing all these people as he walks by, so when he gets to this little old lady, we know what's coming. Or do we? Don't look at us, we didn't do anything.
Thank you, dear. You're such a good boy.
And now we're at the turning point in the film. The seed has been planted and slowly it will grow. I do want to say that this being the medium through which that seed is planted is a bit dumb. Like, it gets the job done. I just wish it had been through a more interesting way, but I can't think of one off the top of my head, so oh well. Governor Diane mentioned something about a meteorite that hit the city last year. I don't know, something to do with marmalade and a heart. It's not important. Let's go back to the heist, in which they nearly get caught, because that is how all heists work.
The Wolf Piranha Snake Shark Tarantula Protection System.
What the thorax? Are you
Therapist?
I love how she just correctly pronounces the acronym. Clearly, they have lots of experience dealing with this.
It's not letting me in.
Check your system preferences.
You probably need to download a driver.
Try rebooting.
Stop backseat coding, guys. I don't do a lot of coding, but the stuff I have done is much easier when nobody is shouting in your ear telling you what to do.
Golden Dolphin!
Wow, they just did it. They did what no one else could. All they have to do now is keep walking. Just keep walking, Wolf.
Tingly feeling I get, that shiver up my spine, the wag in my tiny tail.
Wolf, what are you doing? Keep walking. No, why can't you just keep being evil?
It's the bad guys!
Arrest them!
How many police officers are there? Actually, with criminals like the bad guys running about, you probably need strength in numbers. I wonder what the crime rate of regular humans is. With that many cops, it has to be 0. This movie does a lot with subversion of expectations. Like, we thought Wolf was going to steal that purse, but he didn't. We thought they were going to zoom away, but they didn't. Usually they're pretty comedic because, alluding to something happening and then cutting to the very opposite of that thing happening is funny. Not 100% related, but this scene right here shows the problem with a lot of live action adaptations. Look at these positions that Chief is in. You can't recreate that with real people, and it's one of the biggest things that gives these movies their personality. Also, she slaps him in the butt. You could probably get her fired for SA.
Sadly, we were never given a chance to be anything more than second-rate criminals. If only there was someone who could help the flower of goodness inside us blossom.
Wolf then proceeds to pull the greatest switcheroo in history. He gets Diane and Professor Marmalade, the guinea pig, to send them to rehab. If they change, full pardon, I guess? Which is absurd to me, but you do you, guinea pig. The plot of this movie follows the trope of pretending to do something and then it becoming a reality. Generally, that's with love, like two people have to get married for some reason but don't actually love each other at the start, but by the end of the movie they do fall in love. Here it's a bit different. Wolf is kind of doing a fake it till you make it, but without the intention of making it. Right? I mean, he's blatantly lying here, yet by the end of the movie he does become good, so the trope still stands.
No, don't you see what he's doing? He's playing you.
But it was my idea.
It was his idea.
Only because you made him have it.
The Chief is the smartest idiot in the whole movie. Diane lifts up her dress when she walks down the stairs. Nice detail.
Professor, I'm not about to put the safety of the city on the line for an experiment.
A few moments later.
Okay, I'm game.
What the thorax?
Don't wink at me, I know what you just did, but I gotta say, it's impressive. Also, he just breaks out of the handcuffs like they're nothing, so maybe this whole thing was not necessary and he could have just run. But that's not as fun, which is kind of their whole thing. The police force is called Succum. We'll see what that means later on.
What are you doing?
What? Yeah! Oh, that! I'm sorry, I thought it was obvious.
So the bad guys are going to pretend to go good so they can steal the dolphin at Marmalade's gala next week. Also, Snake's fake arms continue to be terrific. Actually, wait, he didn't have his arms before. He put his arms back on? What? Who the heck is this guy? He looks like a puppet.
A giant butt!
Huh? It's not a butt. My greatest...
I wonder whose butt it is.
That goes on for a while, but the lamp statue is a rendition of the Love Crater meteorite, the thing Diane mentioned at the Dolphin Awards. And then we jump into a montage of the gang trying to be good and failing.
I want you to...
Smack it!
Skin it, stab it,
Saute.
Sing to it?
Save it.
This scene was always weird to me. At the very least, Wolf should be smart enough to know what Marmalade wants. I know it's meant to be funny, so it's not a big deal, but not incredibly in character. And it doesn't go well until Marmalade has an idea to use their greatest strength, breaking and entering. Allegedly, there were thousands of guinea pigs trapped in a research lab being unfairly tested. And Marmalade wants the bad guys to save them. Yet again, this brings up the question of why the main characters are sentient animals and no one else is, but it doesn't matter because they messed this one up too.
Trespassing, burglary, mayhem, assault with a deadly reptile?
I wouldn't call it assault. He wasn't hitting anybody with it. If anything, Wolf was saving the guinea pigs from the reptile. You can see the guinea pig in Snake's throat before it comes out. Nice detail. This section of the newspaper talks about the loose guinea pigs, but even if the bad guys had perfectly executed Marmalade's plan, the guinea pigs would have been loose in the city because it didn't seem like Marmalade had a way to contain them.
I'm sorry. Have we met? I'm the villain of every story. Guilty until proven innocent, even if by some miracle we did change. Who's gonna believe us, huh?
Is that so?
Wait a second, how did you...
A wolf and a fox are not so different.
Whoa, lore drop, she can pick pockets. Wonder what that's about. Definitely won't come up in like 20 minutes. Also, she's right about them not being so different. You could switch their species and it would still mostly work. You'd have to lean more into the sly and cunningness of the fox rather than the big bad wolf theme, but yeah, they totally could have been switched.
Believe it or not, I'm rooting for you, Wolf.
For once, Wolf has someone who believes in him. His whole life, Wolf has been told that he is the villain, the bad guy. But now a person is here telling him that he doesn't have to be that way. This is earth-shattering news, and he's starting to believe it himself. And what I really like is that this didn't happen overnight. It's taken some time, and Wolf has to process and wrestle with it.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm not gonna hurt you. I know you're scared. I would be too if I were you.
I don't want to ruin the moment or anything, but there's no way he could reach up that far from the tree in his current position. It's just, his arms are not that long. But he does end up saving the kitty, and he gets the tingle.
Yes. Yes. It's working.
You filmed that?
That's creepy. Are we just going to ignore the fact that he was there waiting, and he's live streaming it?
Might just be enough to win over the guests at the gala.
One cat video is enough to change an entire society's mindset? Wait, that actually might be the most realistic thing in this movie.
You're really getting it.
Really? Oh, thanks.
It's just a shame that you have to carry all that baggage.
Now here is probably where you're supposed to be having doubts about Marmalade. What sort of good person would say that? I'm gonna spoil the ending now. Marmalade is the villain. He's been orchestrating this whole thing from the start. Unfortunately, my first introduction to this movie was at the exact scene that Marmalade announced his evil plan, so his true nature was spoiled to me before I even saw the beginning of the movie. Because of that, I truly don't know what my initial reaction would have been to Marmalade's deception, but I have an idea. I'll touch more on it when the reveal actually happens and how I think it could have been done better, but for now just know that that baggage line should be a red flag.
You have great potential, Wolf, but at some point you're going to have to choose between your friends or the good life.
In hindsight, it's so obvious that Marmalade does not care about their transition to goodness or whatever. He only wants Wolf to be conflicted about his friends. There's Webbs right over there sleeping.
Snake, buddy, who made the plan to begin with?
You did.
So I'm the one who sticks to the plan the most, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. I guess that makes sense.
Wolf is equally trying to convince himself that the plan is still on as he is trying to convince Snake. And why is it that just Wolf is the one having these doubts? Well, I could go on a long rant about how having somebody believe in you and realizing that caring for others does yada 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 yada, but in reality, being called a good boy and having a hot fox lady interested in you, that's enough to influence any man. But his character arc isn't finished. He still thinks he wants to steal the dolphin.
Remember, all eyes will be on you tonight, not me.
Sneaky. You'll see in a minute.
Friends, meet the good guys.
One of these two blondes might be the same one from the first arrest scene. They look too similar to tell for certain though. Using children to influence donors to give more money. That's almost as devious as Wolf's plan. And Wolf is avoiding Diane, probably because he feels guilty about what he's about to do.
Oh, nice.
Oh no.
This whole scene is hilariously stupid, but it leads to this incredible performance by Piranha.
Get me.
Piranha being able to sing is actually not an oversight. He sang the first Happy Birthday song to Snake and was shown being musically inclined in various other spots too. The one thing that is far-fetched is that he came up with this song on the spot, but it's catchy.
I have to say, I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping you were gonna ask me to dance.
Why can't somebody do that to me?
I see, you lost the sheep's clothing.
Wait, was that a sheep onesie he was in? Is that what that was? Oh my goodness, I didn't notice and that was genius. During the dance, all the other members of the bad guys use the distraction to place the short-circuiting devices, but Wolf is not thinking about the heist at all, and the chief must have undone her handcuff to start dancing. That's not good security procedure.
Diane, it belongs to you.
Well, the heist is cooked, and I'm not even going to touch on this move. Dang, that bro with the gold bars didn't have $8 more to give?
Professor Marmalade!
The plan changed, but he didn't tell Snake. That is not good.
By the power vested in me, it is a pleasure to grant the bad guys a full swap.
The meteorite disappears in one frame. There is no hint as to how it was stolen. Of course, everybody thinks the bad guys did it though.
Come on! You can't possibly think that we did this.
So long, suckers!
The subversion of expectations strikes again and in the best way possible. Also, Wolf hands Diane a map, presumably to their hideout with all the loot. Looks like he's really going good. It's hard to talk about Wolf's decision to not steal the dolphin because of all the hectic stuff that's happening immediately after, but in his mind, he is not a criminal anymore. He has changed. From here on out, he is a good guy.
Tonight's headline, change is impossible.
You should always judge a book by its cover, and all stereotypes have been affirmed.
My favorite line.
Of course you didn't do it. How could you? After all, you're such a good boy.
Alright, we are in climax territory, and we get the reveal that it was Marmalade all along. Marmalade being the villain is actually really interesting and a great way to take the story. Unfortunately, it relied on several things all happening in rapid succession that Marmalade had no control over. He had to count on Wolf going to the Good Samaritan Awards, then pickpocketing that old lady, then having the idea to go good, then actually pretending to go good, then actually not following through with the Golden Dolphin heist. There is no way he could have planned all that. Sure, he's smart, but that is impossible to predict. Basically, Marmalade wants to use the meteorite as a power source to pull off the ultimate heist, which is really stupid. If the meteorite has as much energy as he thinks, just use it to start a power company. You'll make so much more money.
You little pouchy cheeks I'll kill you! You hear me? Get down! Get dead!
The big bad wolf is attacking me.
The change in the mood and the facial expressions from the first arrest compared to this one is striking. In the first scene, both Wolf and Diane had smug, I know what I'm doing faces, but here, everything is spiraling out of control, and the only one who knows what's going on is Marmalade.
Professor, any thoughts on how the bad guys managed to steal the meteorite in plain sight?
Well, off the top of my head, perhaps they accessed the...
No one is suspicious of that instant mood switch. Oh wait, Diane is. Good for her. At least she's smart, especially since Wolf gave her the map to the stash. Is Diane's car electric? It kind of sounds like it, but I'm not a car person, so I can't be certain. And this is the moment that Diane fully believes that Wolf has been redeemed. He no longer wants the things he stole and is giving it all back. I have no idea how she's going to sort through all this stuff. That was a fun transition. Oh my goodness, they are not messing around with their security. That is an impressive ship. Also, we find out what SUCCM stands for. Super Crazy Ultra Max Police Department. Wolf was born in 1991. This movie came out in 2022, so he's 31 years old. That's 217 in dog years. And Snake was born in 1965? Bro, what is this? He's almost 60 years old.
And us, your lifelong friends, we're just holding you back?
Yeah, maybe you are.
Oh no, the bad guys are falling apart.
Prison is no place for fighting!
Well, I'd have to think about that one.
Tell that to him.
Alright, so this is Diane. We can all see that by now, right? The use of him in all the references to the Crimson Paw helps hide the identity. Nice touch. The guard just freezes for the entirety of the takedown.
Diane? What the thorax?
Oh, right. I've got to keep talking. Okay, well.
Guess I'm still the best bad guy the world has ever seen. At least I used to be.
Wow, her standards are so high that a small scratch is considered bad? Wild. Well, hold on. Are we just gonna skip that? There is no way they were getting out of there.
Some kind of cosmic mega superintendy thing.
Right. If conducted through an array of ionized crystals, it will generate a massive psychokinetic field the size of a city. Oh my gosh, did I interrupt you? Were you going to say that?
I am now in my 4th year at engineering school, and I still don't have any idea what she just said. How on earth is her car here? Did she drive it and back it in?
There is no us. We're through, Wolf.
And the bad guys have fallen apart.
You want to know why I hate birthdays, Wolf? When you grow up a snake, nobody shows up to your party. Birthdays are a constant reminder that out there, I'm just a scary, good-for-nothing monster.
Man, I had to sit here and think for a minute before writing anything. This is deep and heavy stuff. This is a callback to the first lines of the movie, and for this entire film, we've seen exactly how the animal stereotypes of each of the bad guys has affected them. And I think it's a mix of them actually being animals and also a metaphorical representation of how criminals like them are perceived by others. Snake's issues with birthdays are a perfect example of that. The gang has fallen apart. Marmalade was right. These guys are holding Wolf back from being good. And that's one of the hardest parts about massive life changes. If the people you are surrounded with don't support your change, that relationship is gonna break.
Just left the only friends I've ever had. So what am I doing?
Now Wolf needs to figure out what he is without his friends and if this change is gonna be worth it.
I just had one thing left to steal.
The golden dolphin.
I don't know why the golden dolphin is the magnum opus of every thief. I think I used that term correctly. It's literally given out every year. It shouldn't be that hard to steal. I'd be down for a Foxington origin story. It seems like she went through something similar to Wolf. It'd be interesting to see what that was.
Now, instead of hurting people, I'm helping them. I'm still me. I'm just me on the right side.
This is huge. I haven't seen anybody else talk about this, and I've watched several other bad guy analyses before making this one. You are still the same person after a change. Lots of times people are scared to do something outside of their comfort zone, particularly if it leads to some big attitude change, because they're scared of not being the same person anymore. This is really true for bigger changes like beating an addiction, overcoming a disease that you've had for a long time, becoming a Christian, etc. But at your core, you are still going to be you. You're still going to like baseball, and your favorite food is still going to be spaghetti and meatballs, and you're still going to hate waking up every morning. Fundamentally, it's still you, just a slightly better you. Oh yeah, Marmalade is doing something, but whatever. These small details like Diane brushing Wolf's prison shirt makes this movie so much better than it needed to be. Dang, the Crimson Paw's got some wild stuff in here. Why 2 umbrellas? If you wanted 2 of something, I feel like literally anything else would have been more useful as a duplicate.
What are you up to, you fuzzy little weirdo?
That was very funny to me. I don't know why.
Let's see if we can't hack into the government surveillance satellite.
She's the governor of a city, so does that mean that the city has its own satellites? Is that normal? I've never been a governor, so I don't have any experience. Okay, so they're in Los Angeles. That was never mentioned before. Oh, wait, I can Google the satellite stuff. So Los Angeles does not have its own satellites, but the state of California might, so maybe that's what she's going for? Marmalade is going to steal the $1 billion charity money. Every character keeps talking like this is the greatest heist in history, but I don't think that's true. Allegedly, $1 billion was stolen by the Iraq dictator back in 2003 from his own national bank. And that was 20 years before this movie. Diane puts a throwing star in her pocket, but she never uses it.
Wolf gave away all our loot. Now I understand what it feels like to have things stolen from you. I don't like it. I really don't like it.
This scene with the rest of the bad guys falls flat in my opinion. Wolf gave all their stuff back and now they're upset, but that sentence from Piranha is the only real catalyst for their change to good. None of these characters had a personal experience like Wolf did, so why are they so receptive to change?
We'll always be bad guys.
The style of animation in this movie is really unique. It kind of looks like there's 2D elements on top of the 3D model, plus it's animated in a way that pushes against the boundary of being over-animated, but manages to just barely stay on the right side. So the guinea pigs go out and steal all the money, which was conveniently still cash and gold bars instead of being sent to a bank so the transfer could be done electronically like a normal person.
That's strange. Why would Marmalade leave the golden dolphin unprotected?
Because maybe it's a trap.
Or maybe...
Wait!
Wolf, how did you manage to evade the police for so long? Are you sure you're even that good at this?
Hey, buddy. How's it hanging?
What? Wolf's friends are here? No way. The metal bends a little bit when they fall.
Here, kitty.
Why was the cat still in the tree? No, never mind. That was completely worth it.
We need some kind of magnetized cross-circuit interceptor?
You mean this?
Yes, the little buttons you grabbed without knowing how the heist was going to be done that conveniently ended up being the solution.
Webs! You feel like a girl's trip?
Yes.
Later, boys.
Everybody
I want to go on the girls trip.
I feel you, man. How is he moving like that? How is this happening?
Do you guys think they'll throw us a party?
Yeah, with fireworks, piñatas, and cake.
There is no way that party hat stayed the whole time. None. Absolutely zero. Oh my goodness, we've gone full circle back to the beginning of this video where I talked about how Wolf could kill 1,000 guinea pigs and we wouldn't care.
If you insist.
Wait, Cuddles is the name of the guy? That makes so much sense. That's why he's been saying Cuddles. Did you already know that? Am I late to this revelation?
We're gonna make it!
They were never gonna make it. They fall for way longer than they should have here. It is not that deep.
Guys,
Who said it was the end?
That's not how physics works.
We're done running away.
When I was 6 years old, I decided that I wanted to play the piccolo, only to find that my fingers were just too powerful for that fragile little instrument.
I love the Chief. And then we have this whole Marmalade thing where we find out that the meteorite that Wolf stole is fake, and that Snake was really good this whole time. This detracts a ton from the ending, because if Snake was really good this whole time, the movie should have ended right here. Snake should have taken the guinea pigs and shut down everything instead of needlessly dragging it on and causing way more harm.
This is the Zumpango diamond, but this was stolen by the... by the Crimson Paw!
Well, that's still false conviction. He should go to jail for other things, but not that. This is one of the good parts about this ending. The bad guys aren't magically pardoned for their crimes. They still need to go to jail and serve a sentence. Overall, this was a very solid movie. It had no business being as good as it was. I loved all the characters, particularly Wolf and Diane, because, they had actual characterization. I wish we'd had more time to visit some of the other characters' thoughts throughout this whole storyline and how each of them chose to be good, but that would have made this movie several hours longer. This story touches on some really good stuff that I've mostly already talked about, like how change is scary, but having someone who believes in you and friends who want to change with you makes that process so much better. The animation was fire. Combination of 2D with a 3D gives it a really nice look. Everything was very actiony and just animated, but animated in like the expressive way. Chief is the greatest example of this. She has some wild and expressive moments, and they just work so well. I only found out about this Bad Guys movie a couple months ago, but it's been out for 3 years. I was very entertained watching it, and I'm super excited for the second movie, which if you want me to also overanalyze, please let me know down in the comments below. But before you leave, I have one big announcement. I have opened a Patreon, and this is just if you want to give some extra support while getting access to exclusive content. Don't feel pressured. Videos will come out at the same rate, regardless of if you join. This is just if you want exclusive access to videos that YouTube didn't let me post. Currently, I've got a video on there about the very first Pokemon movie. You'll also get access to videos 1 week early, like overanalyzing Ninjago Season 2, which is supposed to come out on November 1st, but Patreon members will get access to that over a week early on the 22nd of October. Anyways, go check it out if you're interested. If not, I'll just see you in the next video. Snake's issues with birthdays. Snake's issues with birthdays. Snake's birthdays. Oh my goodness, I can. Birthdays. It's a hard D. Why is it? Birthdays. Why is it so weird? Why is it so? This is gonna be a great blooper. Shoot. I gotta go back to my document. No, my document. No. Where is it? I don't know why the golden Dyphon heist. Whew, we got a lot of stuff. Okay, we still got. Oh man, it's been 30 minutes already of recording. Crazy.